Hi everybody. So this week's assignment, you are talking about personality theory and assessment. We're also reading about intelligence. So I wanted to talk a little bit about personality overall. Within the text, you see that there's many different theories of personality. We have Freud's defense mechanisms and his psychosexual theory of stages of development. They also talk about Jung and humanistic theories. Maslow, hierarchy of needs, and hierarchy of needs for anybody who works in education. That's what we do discuss quite often when thinking about students and thinking about their needs, thinking about what impacts their personality. There's different trait models. And one of the most talked about theories overall is called the five-factor model, which is what I have here on the screen for you to see. And that's pretty much what our research is going to be about this week. So what I've asked you to do is to pick a fictional character and to really analyze that character's personality and correlate it to the five-factor model, which is the ocean model. So I did post a video online of various clips that shows different TV personalities and their in regards to their personality. Which is kind of fun to watch sometimes. So this may seem just a very subjective type of report where you're just looking at the personality of your chosen fictional character and kind of almost taking guesses per se as to where you feel their personality fits into this ocean model, the five-factor model. You still need outside research. So one of the things you may want to do is part of your research is to really have a comprehensive understanding of what this model is overall. Looking at the text, they give basically a one-page overview of the big five-factor model. One area that you could research further is researching further into this model. Really looking at the personality traits, really look at each of these traits, such as openness, conscientiousness, extroversion, agreeableness, and neuroticism. Really look at those. You can research each of these areas in more detail than what is given in the text to show that you really have an understanding of these. Another part of this assignment overall, which I discuss in the end, is, we're also talking about how is this assessed? So when you're looking at the different theories, and you can compare this five-factor model to the psychoanalytic, the humanistic, and the trait theories, and how do they differ? Also the social cognitive theories, sorry, I forgot about those. But you can really talk about how psychologists assess personality. So one of the things that, which is what you're going to do as part of this assessment, is using observations. Why are observations important in the evaluation of one's personality? You are going to be doing observations based on your fictional character. So that's one area that you can research even further. Interviews and also rating scales are important. What is a rating scale? Maybe you want to go online, find there's many rating scales online that are free. Some are valid, some are not. So as you're researching various rating scales, really look at the strengths and weaknesses of each of these scales. So for example, within the text, it talks about the MMPI and the CPI. So you want to really look at, part of those you probably won't find free online. Those are highly coveted evaluations, but you can research the MMPI, you can research the CPI, and really research about what those are designed to reveal. What are the strengths of each of those rating scales, and what are the weaknesses of each of those rating scales? Because whether you're in the field of medicine, the field of mental health, the field of education, it's important to understand what the strengths and weaknesses are of each of your assessments. Uh, so when you go online and you're doing a free evaluation, pretend that you're your fictional character. Fill out those questionnaires and then, look at those scores. And that is sometimes fun to do and to see, is your observations in relation to what the personality assessments indicate. Is there consistency there? Because again, when we look at interviews, when we look at observations, when we look at rating scales, where I'm looking at when I do these types of assessments, I'm looking for what are the relationships, what are the consistencies, and what are the inconsistencies and why those are there. So, really look at those. So that's another piece of research is the rating scale that you choose to do online and what are the limitations of people doing online assessments. Another piece that you can look at that I often do, projective tests. And projective tests are actually highly controversial because it really does have to do with people's perceptions and inner thoughts. They talk about the Rorschach. They also talk about the TAT, the thematic apperception test. You can look into projective drawings like the human figure, house, person, tree, kinetic family drawing, those types of assessments as well. But really think about what the strengths and weaknesses are of those in relationship overall in psychology and also in the relationship to your fictional character. You probably won't be able to do a projective assessment on your fictional character because you don't have the fictional character here. But it may be something that you just research and you can add on to show that you have a comprehensive understanding of those assessments. So those are really areas that you can really expand upon for this assignment. Up here is if you want to use this at all, I feel this is like kind of a good overview that shows low scores, high scores. Talk about, what the range is. What is actually a low score? What is actually a high score? How did the creators of, this assessment determine what's a low score, what's a high score? What does it mean if you're in the middle? Because I'm sorry if anybody has ever taken some of the online tests. It just drew a complete blank on one that's common, very common. But it's like INTJ and it comes out with letters, and I'm just drawing a blank on that one. But sometimes people are in the middle. Sometimes people, when we hear about especially extroversion, sometimes people are in the middle, or sometimes they're introverts in one area, but extroverts in other areas. Why is that? So that would be something that you can research further of, when we look at trying to think of a character, and I can't think off the top of my head, but when we look at some of the characters, in some situations they're quiet, reserved, withdrawn. Other situations they're outgoing, warm, and seeks adventure. What is the change? What's going on? The character on Big Bang Theory, Raj, he is around girls, very quiet, reserved, withdrawn, won't even speak in front of girls, put a little bit of alcohol in him, and he's outgoing and all about the girls and can talk to any of them. So alcohol would have an impact on this trait for Raj right there. So when we look at people who have a tendency towards unstable emotions, we want the low scores of calm and even tempered, whereas high scores, prone to negative emotions, prone to kind of what we call drama and whatnot. So again, really type of analyzing the research, the strengths and weaknesses, looking at different assessments that are used to assess personality. You can compare and contrast this trait, the Big Five Factor Model, to other theories and what are the similarities, what are the differences. You can research just these traits individually in more detail. And really, as I said, relate all of your information to your given fictional character. And you guys should be able to do this assignment with problem. I hope you have a bit of fun with this. It was meant to be, have a bit of fun in learning about this. So if you guys have any questions, you are more than welcome to email me. And just a quick heads up, I won't be online. My son has an activity at his school this Thursday night, so I will not be online this Thursday night. Next week is the public school vacation week. I will be online Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday next week. And then I'm going to take a week break. I'm going away for a bit of the vacation, so I'll be gone Thursday through Sunday. I'm not sure what time I'm getting home Sunday night, and Monday night I have a commitment, and then Tuesday night I have a meeting. So unfortunately, I won't be back online until Wednesday, I think it's March 8th. So yeah, I think it's March 1st through March 8th that I won't be around. I'll do my best around March 5th. That middle, I'll post this online. I'll do my best to hopefully check emails, but I won't be in an area where I'll have service. So I just want to give you guys a heads up. So I'll be on Tuesday, Wednesday this week. I'll probably do my best to check emails towards the end of the week. And then next week I'll be on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. I will be on Monday night doing a quick check on things. But if you do have any questions, please feel free to email me. You guys are doing a great job, and keep up the great work. Bye.